Today on TQA Weekly, I talk about the network packet and how it relates to the Internet of... This is TQA Weekly. I'm the host, Steve Smith, aka Z-Axis. If ever you have any questions, comments, suggestions, and or stories, just email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com, and use the now encrypted contact form, or you can always use the comments box on this page. This episode of TQA Weekly is brought to you by ProXpn. ProXpn is a virtual private network VPN that allows you to use the internet the way it should be, anonymously and without oversight. For your 20% off your new account, go to proxpn.com/podcast and use the coupon code TQAWEE. Today I'm going to be talking about the network packet. It is today's version of the letter within envelope. It is the internet that acts as our postal service, allowing us to not just view websites and pictures. It allows us to watch video, listen to audio, talk on Skype and other types of communications like that, play video games, download entire archives of information, and learn and teach other people all over the internet. And it is important that we understand at least part of the heritage of what we will actually consider to be the most important tool of our lifetime, the internet. So understanding what the network packet is a very important thing to have as a base of knowledge. So the packet is basically an envelope containing a data payload known as user data and various headers such as the origin IP address, destination IP address, TTL, internet header length, type of service, length of packet in bytes, identification tags, fragmentation flags, header checksum, protocol type, fragment, offset position, and more. The easiest way to explain all of these is in the parts related to each of their tasks. So just before we get to anything, I would like to actually point out something. For the most part, unlike the US Postal Service and other postal services, packet loss is normal and extremely important as a role in the way internet communications work. When packets are lost, this is an indication of various scenarios. Either certain networks are down, slow, suffering from bandwidth bloat, or causing corruption of packets. Not to mention that if a packet strays too far out of the way, the TTL, or time to live, will actually expire. TTL, time to live, is actually the number of hops a packet is entitled to travel before each of these values is recycled down to 0. So if a packet had a TTL of 15, it can only go to 15 different places before recycling down to 0 and being deleted. The only way the packet would die on the internet. Otherwise, packets would permanently be strewn all over the internet, constantly bouncing around without anything able to stop them except for a generalized complete total blackout of the entire planet, considering the way the internet is now made. Now, that is not the only thing that keeps these packets in checks. Packets can also suffer corruption during transmission, so header checksums are provided to validate the packet to make sure it is not corrupted. It is possible to do a parity check on every single individual character within the packet, but this is neither timely or, convenient. Therefore, using a header checksum is actually what they use. For those that are wondering, what happens if the header checksum is corrupted? Well, in theory, the header checksum, whether it's corrupted or not at the same time as the packet, it shouldn't match at all either. So that's just something about the internet that you know more. Now, when you're streaming content, like video or audio, whether you're talking on Skype or playing video games or watching YouTube or blip.tv or iTunes or anything, like you're probably doing right now, we're using a protocol known as UDP. It is very suited to a streaming protocol. It does not accept out of sync, out of order packets. Because packets can travel the internet by many different routes, they can actually appear at the destination in the wrong order. This protocol ignores and deletes those packets, checks the header checksum, makes sure the packets are not corrupted, and process them into the video and audio required. As long as the quality of service is set correctly in your computer and or router, you should be getting a steady stream, as long as also your internet service provider is actually fast enough, of video and audio to a point where you can actually accept any minor amount of artifacting that will occur from the intentional deletion and ignoring of packets that did not actually come in the right order. Attempting to actually bring them into the image out of sync will cause the image to be unviewable, unusable. It actually may corrupt the final image being processed on the screen. Therefore, there are various things set up in the way these images are built to accept the fact that various packets will not actually come in time to show up in that kind of transmission. Now, when the integrity of the file is important, we use TCP packets. Taking note of such things such as packet length, identification of length of packet, and validating the header checksum, we are able to rebuild files to nearly perfectly identical to original files on the server by actually validating that we have all the packets. All packets actually say how many packets are coming, knowing the position of where all these packets go, and actually being able to determine with the header checksum if they are corrupted or not. In TCP, we can delete and re-request packets that are either lost or corrupted. Therefore, we are able to rebuild the entirety of that entire file from all the packets we need. Now, there are other parts of the packet that you may want to know about, as there are actually 4 bits that actually indicate whether it's IPv4 or IPv6 packets. This is only important for the destination and origin IPs, but it is part of the actual packet. You also have, fragmentation flag. The fragmentation flag actually indicates if it doesn't want to be fragmented or should actually wait for more fragments. If there are multiple different fragments, you will actually wait for the identification tags of each of these fragments to put them in the correct order. And the 8 bits that are actually encoded for the type of service refer to the quality of service, which describes the priority the packet should be received in. So just as a normal state of things running, in a router, the packets that are defined as for being video game oriented or video or audio are actually allowed to pass faster through the network than anything from TCP coming from web pages and downloads and all that, since you'll be able to re-request those packets, whereas the other packets for those kinds of media are over UDP and are not actually able to re-request the lost packets, as they won't be processed in time for the entire media to be encoded. That is everything about the packet that you should at least know for a primer, something at least that you will understand more about the internet. And speaking of the packet, now more than ever, your online freedom and privacy are under threat. Governments and ISPs want to control what you can or cannot see, while keeping a detailed record of everything you do. Plus, that free Wi-Fi at the coffee house or airport terminal is putting you at risk because your passwords and sensitive data can be intercepted more easily than you might think. Packets are being rebuilt in different locations to make the files that you are waiting for. These are governments, ISPs, and other companies that are taking advantage of your information that you are requesting or sending. ProXpn is a global VPN virtual private network that works with almost any internet connection, creates a secure, encrypted tunnel through which all your online data passes back and forth. Any online application can work with ProXpn, including your web browser, email, file sharing, and instant messaging programs. ProXpn keeps everything you do online hidden from prying eyes, disguising your physical location, and giving you unfettered access to any websites or online services no matter where you live or travel to. You get complete online privacy with a 2048-bit encryption key, 512-bit encryption tunnel, works with OpenVPN or PPTP, you get to choose, protects you from ISP 6 strikes or copyright rules. You also get to bypass internet filtering, blocked websites, geographical restrictions for internet content and online video with worldwide server access to ProXpn servers in US, UK, Asia, and more. ProXpn's software for Windows and Mac offers advanced controls allowing you to select which programs and ports you wish to anonymously route through ProXpn servers. And ProXpn also works with your iOS, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Phone devices, allowing you to use your data plan or public corporate Wi-Fi with complete and total privacy on the go. No app required there. You just use PPTP, which is now standard in cell phones. They got an amazing 24/7 customer support system, and all you need to do is to go to proxpn.com/podcast for more information and to sign up. TQA Weekly watchers and listeners will also get a free 30-day risk-free trial. Remember to go to proxpn.com/podcast, sign up with the coupon code TQAWEE. ProXpn premium accounts normally are $9.95 a month or $74.95 for the entire year. We've got a very, very special offer for you, 20% off the lifetime of your entire account with ProXpn as long as you use the coupon code TQAWEE. Thank you for watching, subscribing, and learning with TQA Weekly. Have a great day, and goodbye. Thank you for listening to TQA Weekly. Show your support by liking this episode, subscribe to get our latest episodes as they come out, and share with friends and family who may benefit from such a show as this. You may send us your questions, comments, suggestions, and or stories to ask at tqaweekly.com. For our show notes, links to our Android application, alternate means of subscribing to our show, and information on joining our weekly newsletter, head over to tqaweekly.com. Stay safe and online, and have a great day.